Greetings, beloved poets. Welcome to Chaos Magic. As usual, I'll give a few ground rules, 3 to 5 minute sets. We ask, but do not require, that you bring one original and one cover piece. Again, this is not required. If you have two originals, bring those two originals to us. We love whatever magic you bring. Of course, no racism, no sexism, no bullshit. Keep it all about the love. Love is the law, love under will. I encourage you to go off the mic and go crazy for every poet after they have performed, to give them feedback in the chat. And I am delighted to have you here. And let's get started. If Messiah is finished smoking, maybe he would grace us with some words. Messiah, will you bless us with your words, my friend?
Absolutely, I would love to. Thank you for having me here. Uh, so, two poems I'm going to read, and the first you may have heard on Friday. It's called Consciousness and Freedom. When, from death's insight, aesthetic and laborious sentiment reclaims fractious conscience and ego and makes of it a breath engorged on the unpalatable tresses of release, one is left to ponder. How could perspective, this parsimony of human struggle, evoke tranquility in a grip slowly surrendering to mortal intrigue? Fearsome and tumultuous, the final moments of consciousness seem to restore to your intuition a door that reifies life's impatient and dogged sense. When you realize that door is to shelter no human instinct, and to enter carries the weight of revelation beyond character and into life's utter resolution. For a moment or two, you furiously battle your sense that life, as infinitely tremulous and often sadistic as it's been, as absurdly redundant, as self-denying as it's been, is coming to an end. Then what shatters you next needn't be totally understood so much as told sincerely. The gravity of inevitability succors the weight of life. You move toward the door as if carried by fateful flight. All of the questions, heaven or hell, love or regret, wrong or right, slips through your thoughts just as your grip upon life weakens. Your sensation of battle with what cannot be changed comes to an end. The door opens. Tension and fear dissipate. You find yourself staring into aeons of universes, generated with the levity of a Beethoven composition. Then a voice, as sweetly manicured as the sunflower blooms, speaks softly. It says, "This is the beginning, where home and your infinitude will never cease." As you enter the room of the open door, your body comes apart, bathing in absolving energy, and your consciousness travels to a space where a universe is just beginning to generate. Not a big bang, but a spreading of consciousnesses from the dead of other universes, growing organically into an Eden of stars, planets, and galaxies, as far as God's eye can see, built by and consisting of consciousness itself. Your consciousness spreads out, and you realize that you can hear all of this universe, see all of this universe, feel all of this universe. You and this universe are one. You then generate in your consciousness a form and image of yourself that emerges in freedom, and find that the other consciousnesses have done the same. And together you all walk the vistas of this universe with as much patience as life, as you once knew it, denied you, toward the stars, to dance in paradise where consciousness is finally and everlastingly free. So that was the first poem. The second one is a newer one. I wrote it today. It's called Truth. What stoic or restive blindness, unconsciously invariable, innately surmised as all portents and potentials of human perception, closely aggravates a summons of truth. For truth has no path, truth no orthodoxy. What lives beyond this ragged fealty of God? What exists beyond our passive relationship to divine reckoning elevates conscious potential toward truth. Truth is not us. It is not God. It is not undue silence of humanity or God. Truth exists beyond all things and no things. Truth is actively the strain of existence that exercises wonder to immortality, immortality of the kind that infinitely surmounts all conscious belief and unconscious ideation. Truth is never where it's supposed to be. Where could you be when truth transiently appears? In love? In hate? Truth is the white rabbit, perennially late, yet ever rushing to meet its goal, although quick enough in its passages to be seen but never caught. Never caught. We are not purveyors of truth. That is for a land, time, and people so distant from us in time as to live timelessly, but to glimpse life's exultant measure, to reaffirm life in intuition as scant and blinding as the light of heaven to mortal eyes, is still to barely know truth. Come all ye saints and scholars, ye believers and non-believers. Truth will never cohere to the grip in your hands, like water pacifying them and slowly falling away. Truth is the measure, not of instinct or even knowledge. Truth lives where all things die, and still it soars beyond any pedigree of measurement. For this life, your life, is an ascent, eternally in the making. Thank you.
Wow, Messiah. The truth is that was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
So much for sharing.
Incredible, Messiah. Everybody open your mics. Give some love to Messiah.
Yeah, my
Pain.
boy. Hey, that's
Wow,
Yo,
Messiah.
Way to go, Messiah, man.
Thank you.
Eloquently beautiful.
Messiah, check out the comments, please, because check out the chat because we were blowing it up with your lines. And
Okay.
it was amazing.
Lines.
He always does. He never fails. Messiah always brings it. Incredible.
Truly, the philosophy in the pieces was so sublime.
Thank you very much.
Next up on the mic, we are fortunate to have with us the troubadour of our times, Bill Elkins.
Okay.
Bless us with your mic, with your words and music, Bill.
Okay, thanks. Gustav, I appreciate the introduction. I don't warrant it, but I appreciate it. I love fantasies and good fiction. Anyway, thank you in all seriousness. Okay, the first one I'd like to do is one of my favorite singers that influenced me when I was a youngster was Phil Oakes, who wrote some great songs, died tragically, committed suicide, but on the happy part, he wrote some great songs, and I want to do one of probably, one of my favorites. My favorite is a song called Crucifixion, but it's too long. I'm going to do one, Bound for Glory, and he was singing about Woody Guthrie. Hope you like it. And then I'll do an original. 1, 2. He walked all over his own growing land, from the New York Islands to the California sand. He saw all the people that needed to be seen, planted all the grass where it needed to be green. And now he's bound for a glory all his own. And now he's bound for glory. He wrote and he sang and he rode upon the rails. He got on board when the sailors had to sail. He had said all the words that needed to be said. He fed all the hungry souls that needed to be fed. And now he's bound for a glory all his own. And now he's bound for glory. He sang in our streets and he sang in our halls. He was always there when the unions gave a call. He did all the jobs that needed to be done. He always stood his ground when a smaller man would run. And now he's bound for a glory all his own. And now he's bound for glory. And its pastures of plenty, wrote the blood dust bowl balladeer. And this land is your land, he wanted us to hear. And the rising of the unions will be sung about again. And the deportees live on through the power of his pen. And now he's bound for a glory all his own. And now he is bound for glory. And now they sing out his praises on every distant shore. But so few remember what he was fighting for. Oh, why sing the songs and forget about the aim? He wrote them for a reason, why not sing them for the same? And now he's bound for a glory all his own. And now he's bound for glory. Okay, that's the first one. Great song. And the next one is a one that I wrote entitled Corrine. Hope you like it. Sorry. Take two. Sweet lady from Salinas, my brown-eyed cornelian queen. My love for you is boundless. I'm so goddamn thankful you love me. You saved me from oblivion. You're my angel in the night. You Pepsi generation, me Coke classic unite. I pray I never lose you, because life would become empty and dark. Corrine, my barefoot senorita, you enchant me with your luminescent smile. You fill my world with sunshine and captivate me with your style. You challenge me in my thinking, make me laugh when I'm forlorn. You tease me when I'm too serious and chide me when I'm glum. You're inexorably a part of me and I appreciate you so, Corrine. When I look into your eyes, I tread where I ought not dare. You completely overwhelm me with your mystical, penetrating stare. You see what I'm thinking and think what I see. You rescue me from my wasteland when you reach out to me. You're my refuge in the desert, my harbor in the storm, Corrine. You're my Juliet, you're my lover, and my best friend. When we kiss and hold each other, I rival Shakespeare with a pen. Our hearts beat together like an earthquake marking time. We become entangled in a carnal nursery rhyme. I want to live with you forever and love you forevermore. Kareen. Oh, Kareen. Kareen. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
That's
you,
all
bro.
it
That was
is.
amazing.
Thank you.
That was so lovely. That was so, so sweet.
Well, thank you.
You gave my wife and I a special moment. That was
Yeah, you had us dancing on the porch. That was
Aw,
beautiful.
Gave her a nice massage. You got a kiss at the end. Thank you,
Thank
Bill.
you.
Oh, wow.
oh my God.
So glad to hear
Yeah.
Into that.
that.
Everybody open your mics for Bill Elkins. Give some love to Bill.
Yeah, Bill! Woo!
Thank you, everybody. Means a lot.
I love it when you get into your
Okay.
singing.
Hmm?
I love it when you get into your singing and your voice curls in there. Like it just,
Yeah,
oh, it
that little
makes me
hound
feel,
dogging, right? That little,
yeah.
what do they call
Oh,
it? I would just describe it as that hound dog in a bit when you get that little,
get
that
right
little
up in
tongue
the
in your,
soul in there
yeah,
with
like,
that. Oh, it's beautiful.
yeah, you grab them by the spirit with that.
God, I wish I heard. I wish it sounded the same to me as it apparently does to you.
I'll send you my ears.
Okay, no, the thought is sufficient enough.
We have a Van Gogh vibe going on.
Hey,
He's one of my favorite artists too.
Who's that?
Van Gogh. Van Gogh.
Oh yes,
Of
oh
the
yes,
ears, yeah.
yeah. It reminds
Okay,
me of
next
that.
up on the mic.
It reminds me of that movie, Quentin Tarantino, Reservoir Dogs, when the guy's talking through the cut off ear. Hello, can you hear me now? Kind of on the macabre side. Anyway,
Indeed.
good movie.
Okay, next up on the mic, we have the wonderful, the delightful, the magical co-host of Chaos Magic, Alma Garcia. Alma, will you
All right.
bless us with some magic?
Oh, I thought, wait, no, it was MT. MT is going first and then it's me.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's my bad. It is MT on the list. MT is
yo,
next
so
All
in
on the
that
right.
list.
case,
And
everybody let's
please,
unmute and give it up. Big
please,
open
both
mind
of
club
you,
and
forgive
everything.
me. That is where the chaos comes in. I bring most of the chaos
Very good.
to this show. It is
You
all
guys
my
bring
bad. I take responsibility for the chaos, but without the chaos, we would not have the magic that MT Pariti will share with us tonight. MT, will you bless us with your words?
You know, you're not entirely wrong because the first thing I'm going to share with you is from Alma
Oh,
here from her book. And it is on page 49. It's called I Don't Owe You. I don't owe you proper or prim or penitent. I don't owe you grace or space to process me past your draconian ways. I don't owe you my smiling face or my magic-laced musing heart. I don't owe you any of my parts. Poem.
Yeah, must be yo. I love when see this is why we like doing the covers because you get to hear an amazing poet speak someone else's words and it shows how much the words stand up and the performance stands up and it's like a new take on like it's just that's the magic, right? Magus will bring the we'll bring the chaos, you guys bring the magic like that.
That
That's
was a lovely reading of it. It's not at all how I read it, and it was very nice to hear.
Oh, that's fun. That's always fun.
That's what this
That's
is
what makes
about.
it so interesting. Yeah, is that you get a whole different side of
In honor of what you do, I will now do an original. This is something that I finished. I just started writing. I finished today, so it's new shit. And it's love shit. So let's see how it goes. Yes, thank you, new shit. I love that. That's what we do. Well, so like I'm around the scene. It's like new shit, love shit.
If you ever see me doing this, that's that wet paint. It's wet
Yeah,
paint.
right.
So I'll be in the
Oh,
background.
there you
and
go.
it's
That's
wet
that new
paint.
shit. Oh, that's what that is. Oh, that's what's up. All right, cool. All right, so I'm ready for it. Let's do this. All right, you guys ready? Let's go. I want to climb you like a mountain. Trek your every trail. I'll follow you where you may go, just like a comet tail. I'm stuck on you like Elmer's glue, inspired and assailed. Try to resist, but I insist my love for you prevails. So far from failed, it's beating. My heart begins to leap. And now I am conceding that for you, I'll be a creep. A devil to entice you, a saint to save your soul. Disheveled can't suffice, do whatever I am told. Be bold, be free, be everything that you can think. Behold the beauty, envy, it passes in a blink. What's left is admiration for all that you can do. Your passion's inspiration. I can't help but tell my crew all about your spirit, how you were born right on a beach, but the ocean can't contain you, and for most, you're out of reach. You live in little compartments to keep your heart secure, but I want to break through, show how it is I love you, and see just what might be in store. This distance, it's really no biggie. We started with oceans between. The night that we met in person, I bet it's not the last of me that you've seen. How has it been for you, dear? I miss you, yes, all of the time. But I do not fret. There is no fear, because now know that deep down you are mine. Not that we're into possession, but mine. Okay, it's my only transgression. Can't help it, you're so goddamn fine. But really, your freedom, I love. It makes me just want to be me. And that's all I could ever ask for. So, babe, please continue. Be free. Poem.
Oh,
Yo,
damn, that
welcome
was
to the
intense.
fam,
Yeah, that was
MC.
terrific. Yeah.
It's really beautiful. Yes.
Everyone, open your mics and give a big welcome to MT. Welcome to Chaos Magic. That
Welcome
was
to Chaos
amazing.
Magic. Yeah.
You are loved. You are dope. What? That was some
You
seriously
found home.
powerful
We've been
work.
looking for you. You was out there. We had to find you. You found home. Welcome home.
Wow.
So when you read that to the person it's about, what kind of reaction do you get?
Yeah.
It wasn't about me.
I don't know yet, because when I was reading it, I couldn't see them.
Ah.
Well,
It
you
Oh,
was
should have seen all
absolutely
of our reactions.
gorgeous.
So yeah,
Good
we all
job.
reacted as if he wrote it for all of us.
Yeah, we all felt that.
It was absolutely gorgeous. I really liked all of the illusion and allegory in it. So yeah, it was very raw also. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing, MT. And welcome to Chaos Magic. You are always welcome here. Coming up next on the mic, we have Alma. Alma, my darling, welcome to the scene as well. Could you
Oh,
bless us with
Jesus.
some words?
Okay. Woo! Not sure how I'm supposed to follow that, but let me say that I have one of MT's scene magazines because this is actually how we met. So when we met, I was doing it was like an open mic sort of thing, feature sort of thing, because my book was coming out, and he had these, so he gave me 2 of these, and I gave him my book. Well, at first he only gave me 1, but then my sister, who's a Capricorn, told me, said, you need to get another one because your book is 10 and his magazines are only 5. So she made me go get another one. Yep. So I'll be reading from there. This has a bunch of featured poets that are on the scene, and it's so cute. It's so cool. So I'll just read one of those because I've never done that. I've never read someone else's poetry. So I'll do that.
Oh, if I could suggest someone,
Go ahead.
read J Rose.
Oh, right. Yeah. Is she in here? I don't know if is she in this one?
Yeah, she is.
Oh, okay. Oh my God, this is a long one. Okay. All right. J Rose is the poet and performer, and she does a million things. She's amazing. So she's the one actually that invited me to that event. So yeah. Okay, here goes. This one's called R.I.P. Rest in Poetry. This is a eulogy for the apologies I'll never receive. Dead sorries never spoken. Dead sorries never spoken through living lips made it hard to believe in myself and in others. But today we lay to rest pieces of my crumbled thoughts. We mourn trust issues that transitioned from often to coffin, the morgue of wrongs embalming my rights before their time, the solitude that seemed more chronic than circumstantial, intrusive thoughts that sat around campfires telling ghosted stories of abandonment. I once knew a glint of hope named promises. We met in my mother's joy, but our trust was broken by my father's voice. So promises never lingered long enough to be kept as a choice. Today, it's with a heavy heart you will follow the heavy hearse I carry on my shoulders, blinking lights leading into a cemetery of fractured roses, petals, stems and thorns spread into melancholy mosaic masterpieces of every time I blamed myself for not being loved right, every time I overthought myself into a ledge thinner than my patience. This procession is for the progression they try to keep from me, the growth they try to stunt on me, the exchanges of energy that emptied out full clips of my empathy, numbing bullets trying to bring an end to me, because pride went from being a friend to an enemy. Wow, that escalated rather heavily. Walk slowly with me past decrepit crypts, withered from when deception hit, until we've reached the end of the road, a final resting place where a marvel of a marble tombstone reads, here lies the unaccounted ability to hold yourself accountable. Well, look at that shit. Even in my own ego death, I fall into fault lines where everything's my fault lies. But call me San Andres now. The way my shift causes earthquakes like a fault line. Standing in this grave, I'm only 8 inches away from the surface, so why does it feel like it's taking more than 8 miles for me to be at my own service. Maybe it's those burned bridges that cremated broken bonds like a furnace, turning blood into ashes, making water thicker with purpose. Pass me the fucking pot, 'cause I ain't afraid to stir this. Grave diggers disguised as condolences, let them. People that lend an ear just to know your business, like them. People that lend an ear just to know your business. This is a eulogy for a past that cannot be resurrected. It can finally rest in poetry. I mean, peacefully in this closed casket of ink, ready to be buried like a hatchet that refuses to sink. Farewell to it all. Don't cry for me. I'm bowing out gracefully. There's no tears to be shed. Let's pay our regrets. I mean, pay our respects and bow our heads. Face our crowns towards this stage, I mean this grave, and fill it with roses instead. J Rose.
Woo!
She's actually just absolutely amazing, and she's like doing so much stuff out there in New York, and it's really beautiful. I just met her. I found her online. I met her online just randomly. So that's something I also love about online communities. You meet a bunch of people that you might not have met in your region or whatever.
Sure.
I have to say I'm brought to tears because I published that poem
Yeah.
Cool.
in the January issue of The Scene. I'm just so proud to have J Rose. J Rose had, by the way, just so everyone knows, has an album, a spoken album out right now on Spotify and all the streaming platforms. You know, she's, I don't know if everyone knows this, but spoken word has become a category on the Grammys. And so she's she's really going for it. And so please check out her spoken word album. It's on Spotify at My Crumbled Thoughts. That's My Crumbled Thoughts. And
you can put it, Michael, you can put it in the chat.
Yes, I will. But yes, all right. Thank you so much, Alma. That was amazing.
Thank you. That was awesome. I'm so glad I got to read one of hers. I didn't even think about it. I forgot that was the one where she was featured. So that was really cool. Thank you so much for reminding me of that. And then for one of mine, let's see what I can follow that up with. I never really prepare for these things. So I think I'm just going to read you one that I posted today. If that's okay.
Sure.
All right, here goes. This is kind of more it's almost a micro short story but it's poetry to me, but it's like sort of prose, so it almost feels like a short. Here goes. The drips in the ceiling started off slow, unnoticed, barely perceived, like they always do. Dots, first one, then another. Now there's about a liter of water beneath my writing desk, a puddle I dip my feet in, wet socks. It's waterlogged the books I left lying on the floor underneath the shelves, the ones I was taking pictures of. Echoes in death, a farewell to arms. I can't even see where it's coming from. I look up. There's nothing falling from the sky, streaming down the walls. Suddenly, there's no evidence at all of its inception. I think I might be losing my mind, wondering if I'm seeing the sea where no one else does. I mop it up again and again, clean up the evidence. My blood, so much blood, puddles at my feet, wet socks all gone, clean. I walked down steps. I could swear there was a drip right above the middle of the staircase a few weeks ago. I remember writing a poem about it dripping between my legs. It's gone. It's all gone. There's nothing to mop up now. Not there anyway, not now. The kitchen seems fine too. Suddenly I'm a home inspector, purposeful, checking for signs of damage, of weakness, measuring a structure's vulnerability to thunderstorms. The rain is my favorite weather. Did you know that about me? I pour myself a cup of coffee, might as well be water. I look around again. The dining room is open concept. 2 living rooms flanking its sides. There are no doors, no walls between them, no mortar, just pillars of sand, salt, nowhere to stand. I imagine what a flood could do to a place like that. I look up again. The sky's not falling, not dripping on my head between my legs. There are no drips, no dots in the ceiling, only the stain of one I didn't create near the air conditioner, someone else's disaster. It was already there before I got there. I covered the fading signs of it with a beige macrame moon. I don't think the selenite and rose quartz on it are real. Even if they were, they have no power here. I have no power here. I look around. I want to change the curtains. I didn't put these up myself. They let too much light in. I got ones made of black velvet, but they were short and I couldn't use them. I hate it when things don't fit. So I'm stuck with these for now. They let too much light in. There are no doors, no walls. Imagine what too much light could do to a place like that. I like the front door. It's made of heavy wood, madera roble, and bits of frosted glass you can't see through. From the outside, it has a peephole. I can see the world trickling in. I look around again, and there it is. A leak, a dot. There's a stream coming down the blue accent wall, concealed in color, may as well be a river, may as well be a waterfall, may as well be a flood. How did it get past the door? There's a puddle on the floor at my feet, wet socks, blood, so much blood. I don't have a mop. I don't know where it's all coming from. I want to change the curtains. They let too much light in. There are no doors, no walls. I have no power here. Imagine what a flood could do. I heard a song titled after the father of geometry, Euclides, and felt like I was drowning. I have no power here. Oh,
Oh my God, that was an amazing ride. Like visceral the whole way. Thank you so much. And the cover was
Yeah,
dope
so
too.
intense. Yeah, wow.
Nicely done.
Everyone, open up your mics and share some love with Alma. What?
Alma.
Wow. Alma, amazing.
It was
You're
terrific.
right. It's like a poetic short story almost. Like very prose, but very poetic at the same time. It was
Yeah,
beautiful.
poetic short story. That's
Yeah.
good
a
description.
poetic- Yeah.
Very powerful.
Indeed.
thank you so much.
Indeed.
Check out the chat because it's blown up with all of your fucking great lines, which were amazing.
Indeed.
Definitely. So I kind of changed up a list a little bit here. Thomas wanted to go before Dre so he could be all, I love Dre. So Thomas is going to go next.
Okay, Thomas, the host of Open Minds Open Mic Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Will you bless us with your words, my friend?
I sure will. Can y'all hear me okay?
We can hear you good.
I got good service here. Okay. So as y'all know, Dre Reyes coming up next. I kind of wanted to skip him in line because I want to cover one of his pieces. And I wanted to take my few little introduction moments to say, yes, this Friday, Dre Ray will be featuring at Open Minds Open Mic, same Zoom room, 7 p.m. on Friday. And then not the next day, but the following Saturday, we will be relaunching the Slam Jam with Alma on as our first guest coach on the returns. It's going to be great. It's a fun show. I'll let him get more into details of that. I wanted to cover one of his pieces because I was just so excited to hear a feature from him on Friday. So Yeah, this one's called Reassurance. And this is a cover of one of Dre Reyes' poems. I've been looking forward to hitting the stage with its style and grace. So allow me to lace my shoes before I start tripping all over the place, falling on my face. First, my heart is racing at the thought of wasting your time. I've wined and dined with kings and queens, and I've slept in an alley eating pork and beans into a food coma, becoming a ghost of the unseen until I wake in the cold, shaking like a fiend. Deprived not of vice, but of shelter. Please let me in. I've walked through battle, cry, and sin, breathing out, breathing in. What feels like cement filling up my rib cage, solidifying and encapsulating my inner mage. However, I'm trying to do my best just to manifest the ideal life. I refuse to settle for less as I break through the mess of stress while the rest doesn't matter. Oh, yes. How long I have longed for the caring caress of neurotypicality, never knowing when the doomsday clock might strike midnight. I'm calm like a bomb, trying to with all my might to not get ticked at the world, to not tick you off, to not be so frantic, tick, 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 tick. Of all of the what's and all of the whatnots, making me question my thoughts. My brain is tied in knots with random thoughts. It never stops. The breaks have been gone a long time ago, a really long time ago, but not the mind of me go. So reassure me. Let me know that everything is okay. And then I got an original. It's kind of a follow-up to that even. So I'm gonna reassure him that everything's okay with this next one, kind of. It's kind of wet paint. I'm still working on. I just added something to you. I might have heard some of it on Friday, but I added a little more to it. It's called Why Am I a Poet? There are several explanations for why I am a poet. I share bizarre central revelations, score high when I'm loaded. The second is more cryptic than the first. It's the reason that songs come in verse. This season is long, my belly hurts, believing in strong, friendly herds. The third's a little less complicated. The words I express leave me feeling intoxicated. These birds, high and blessed, believe we confiscated their songs to impress and relieve the fascinated. Where the wrongs are less left, or maybe even right. The fourth brings forth the new sight as I recite a gift of pure love and light. Being broken is the fifth reason I choose to write. Freeing spoken words from my lips, I chew with might. Swallow the hollow bits of my soul so I can spit them out for you to behold. The sixth reason goes beyond believing in myself. It's a feeling I must share to increase my mental health. The seventh is a misdirection, a simple reflection of imperfections. Number 8 is simply I lack the capacity to hate. 9 is why I sip wine and often cry. The 10th is a reason that you should not ask why, because we love each other. But who is who when we all die? I am a poet. I guess that's true. I think I'm a poet, just like you. Thanks, y'all.
I'm a poet.
Love it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Just like
Thomas.
you. Just
Very
like
good.
you, man.
Yeah.
That was like a dagger to the chest.
Yeah. I'm offended in the best way.
Yeah.
Swallow the hollow bits of my soul so I can spit them out for you to behold. Like, stop it. You playing with it. That was awesome.
I love it so much. It was so good. And up next we have Dre Reyes. Dre, where you at?
There we go. May try and get this thing to work. Hey,
Yes.
how's everybody doing? So, I guess the cat's out of the bag. I guess a number of times. I'm featuring this Friday on OpenMinds Open Mic, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It should be a good time. I have a set list already, lined up for y'all, and I'm gonna gun them down. It's just a matter if you have your body armor on. So buckle up, buckaroos. And also, as a shoot back to what was said earlier, yes, the Slam Jam coming back in less than 2 weeks, May 11th, Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with our very own Alma Garcia being the special guest host. It is a can't miss, repeat, can't miss episode. So hope I see all y'all there.
I like how you said the name Alma Garcia, like with the Latino.
Well, I try to keep it real. So let's see here. What would you like to hear first, a cover or the original? I'm gonna cater to whoever.
Cover.
Cover? All right. So this is a song, a 1992 song from a band called King Missile. It's a song called Detachable Penis. I woke up this morning with a bad hangover, and my penis was missing again. This happens all the time. It's detachable. This comes in handy a lot of the time. I can leave it at home when I think it's gonna get me in trouble, or I can rent it out when I don't need it. But now and then I go to a party, get drunk, and the next morning I can't for the life of me remember what I did with it. First I looked around my apartment and I couldn't find it. So I called the place where the party was. They hadn't seen it either. I asked them to check the mezzanine cabinet because for some reason I leave it there sometimes, but not this time. So I told them if it pops up to let me know. I called a few people who were there at the party. They were no help either. I was starting to get desperate. I really don't like being without my penis for too long. It makes me feel less of a man. And I really hate having to sit down every time I take a leak. After a few hours of searching the house and calling everyone I could think of, I was starting to get very depressed, so I went to Kiev and ate breakfast. Then, as I walked down 2nd Avenue towards St. Mark's Place, where all the people sell used books and other junk on the streets, I saw my penis lying on a blanket next to a broken toaster oven. Some guy was selling it. I had to buy it off of him. He wanted $22, but I talked him down to 17. I took it home, washed it off, and put it back on. I was happy again. Complete. People sometimes tell me I should get it permanently attached, but I don't know. Even though sometimes it's a pain in the ass, I like having a detachable penis. End cover. So there's that. That wasn't my original idea to do a cover on that, but it happened. Now with
You rocked it. You rocked it.
So
I
now
fucking love that song. I'm so glad you chose that, man.
I'm so glad I'm not the only one who knows that song.
Yeah,
God.
well, no,
I'm
like
so
half the
glad you
people
did
in here, I
that.
think
I'm so glad you did that, and that you changed your glasses.
I like to keep it. I like to keep it. Keep it different. Now with this original shit, this old shit, this fossilized shit, I guess you could say. This is from 2013. It's called Revisiting a Younger Self. There you are, grabbing hold of that mutant boomerang of a video game controller, eyes glued to the radioactive gaming screen, thumbs resting firmly on the controller stick and A button, barrel rolling and blasting away at the forces of intergalactic evil in Star Fox 64. You're freaking out in joy like the honeycomb mascot because the controller is vibrating because of this new thing called a rumble pack attachment, when all of a sudden it's 3:30 and you are not gonna miss Pokemon on the living room 32-inch Panasonic. You rapid dash your way towards the living room couch, diving with TV remote and cable box remote in hands, spinning an exact 180 degrees midair with flair. You descend towards the lumpy comforts of the sofa. As you do, you simultaneously turn on both the TV and cable box with the channel already set. Nobody knows how cool of a kid you can be behind the social awkwardness. You'll have growing pains in puberty, in therapy, but enough of that. You waited your entire day to watch Pokemon. This is the time of day you don't have to worry about trying to fit in. Your fourth grade class pretended to like you for one day, and 3 went in dirt the next. This is the time of day you aren't the loneliest kid in recess. Playing kickball by yourself is a drag. You will later end up rounding up other rejects and shoots b-ball every day in 5th grade. This is the time of day you don't think about your dad who will slip into a seemingly unbreakable depression, or all about how hard your mom is working to be able to sustain the family by herself, only to witness the statue of the woman rust away over time. But what can you do? You're 9 years old. You have some math, science, and language arts homework, but it can wait. It can all wait. Just make sure you fit in that healthy dosage of visual serotonin into your system. And have fun as you turn on, tune in, and drop out. Poem, Dre Reyes out. Thank you.
Oh, I love the fucking Tim Leary quote at the end.
Wow.
Wow, that
So,
statue
Jay.
line. Oh my God, so good. That poem was so good, Dre.
It's
Wow.
absolutely top-notch references always, and very masterful pieces. Like I don't know how much you edit or how you make them, but it feels like you edited them for hours and just like really got them to a very sophisticated level. I really I love that about his poetry.
He's like a mason, like a stonesmith that would do those beautiful faces, and they can't mess up. If you
Yeah,
mess
they're
up,
like yeah, it's so
he
elaborate.
refines them so that, yeah, where and he doesn't mess up the whole process, and at the end you get this beautiful sculpture. It's wonderful.
Indeed. Okay, next up on the mic from Berkeley, California, the inimitable Debby Segal. Will you bless us with some words, Debbie?
Thank you. I'll do a cover first. This is a song, All the Young Dudes. Well, Billy rapped all night about his suicide, how he'd kick it in the head when he was 25. Speed jive. Don't want to stay alive when you're 25. And Wendy's stealing clothes from Marks and Sparks. And Freddie's got spots from ripping off the stars from his face. Funky little boat race. Television man is crazy. Saying we're juvenile delinquent wrecks. Oh man, who needs TV when I got T-Rex? Oh brother, you guessed. I'm a dude, Dad. All the young dudes carry the news. Boogaloo dudes carry the news. Now Lucy looks sweet 'cause he dresses like a queen, but he can kick like a mule. It's a real mean team, but we can love. Oh yes, we can love. And my brother's back at home with his Beatles and his Stones. We never got off on that revolution stuff. What a drag. Too many snags. Now I've drunk a lot of wine and I'm feeling fine. Gotta race some cat to bed. Oh, is there concrete all around or is it in my head? Yeah, I'm a dude, Dad. All the young dudes carry the news. Boogaloo dudes carry the news. So there's that.
So there's that. Wow, that was amazing. Oh, thank you so much for covering that. That was so
And
So
little
well
known
done,
fact, that was actually written by David Bowie for Mott the
David
Hoople.
Bowie.
Or maybe it's a
Indeed.
well-known fact. I don't know. And this is some new shit. Don't touch the wet paint.
New shit.
Okay. White butterflies. The white butterfly of ambivalent longing, whittling through space, trying unguided quests through tributaries of abyss. Teach me, O Lord or Lady of white butterflies, can you forgive the fool? The morning star was a methodical misunderstanding when pushing aside clouds, rippling out into roses. Will there be a sacred gift of second chances? I remember finding a message once, painted as a purple paradox. Oh, butterfly, tell me how. Tearing away from the masquerade of noticing and forgetting, while flowering into eddies, feathering into embers, both resting and laughing. Oh, white butterfly of ambivalent longing, whittling away on wings. Thanks, y'all.
yeah.
Right. Oh, I felt that
That
butterfly.
wet paint was yeah, that and
Yeah,
that was wet
Debbie,
paint. That
white
was
butterfly.
amazing. Keep writing,
Yeah.
yo. What? You're on fire right now.
It
You got
got
me
hot in here
dancing.
with that.
Yeah, like keep that pen high. Yo, you just melted us with that pen.
Awesome.
Straight up. That was epic. Thank you, Debbie. Love your singing too. You have such a beautiful voice. I love it when you get into it too. Just, beautiful. All right. So next on the mic, we have C because C has been here like 10 times and we have not heard from C in forever. So C, are you ready? Could you bless us with some words?
Hi, I'm ready.
Yay!
Yo, where is you right now? You look like you chilling on the beach right now. What?
No, I'm literally making dinner right now. It's a late dinner, but whew, your girl's trying. Okay, so I'm not a singer. I'm not gonna sing, but I have a cover from Demi Lovato, and this is my favorite song from Demi Lovato. It's called Anyone. I try to talk to my piano. I try to talk to my guitar, talk to my imagination, confided into alcohol. I tried and tried and tried some more, told secrets till my voice was sore. Tired of empty conversation, cause no one hears me anymore. 100 million stories and 100 million songs. I feel stupid when I sing. Nobody's listening to me. Nobody's listening. I talk to shooting stars, but they always get it wrong. I feel stupid when I pray. So why am I praying anyway if nobody's listening? Anyone, please send me anyone. Lord, is there anyone? I need someone. Anyone, please send me anyone. Lord, is there anyone? I need someone. I used to crave the world's attention. I think I cried too many times. I just need some more affection, anything to get me by. 100 million stories and 100 million songs. I feel stupid when I sing. Nobody's listening to me. Nobody's listening. I talk to shooting stars, but they always get it wrong. I feel stupid when I pray. Why the fuck am I praying anyway, if nobody's listening? Anyone, please send me anyone. Lord, is there anyone? I need someone. Anyone, please send me anyone. Oh Lord, is there anyone? I need someone. 100 million stories and 100 million songs. I feel stupid when I sing. Nobody's listening to me. Nobody's listening. That's my cover.
Yo, she needed to read it how you did, because we were all intently listening to those lyrics, right? And the fact that she's singing it and like we don't know that, like you really brought it to like and answered it with like, oh, that was dope.
Thank you so much. I love me some Demi Lovato. She really sings to my soul. This poem is a second draft to something I was working on, but I really wanted to read it for you guys today. It's called Empty Cup of Wonders. Fill up my cup the way I have overflowed yours. I have brought you abundance. You have stolen all my joys. My open heart bound to your soul. Yours sewn closed. I rip and tear. Spiders hover everywhere. Your mouth shut. Your hands touch. I cannot feel you. Are you there? Balance my kindness and care, leaving myself bare. Zoom in on your retention always elsewhere. Drink from my empty cup. The butterflies in us no longer awake, running amok, dying from a drought, losing all the fucks I give up to the clouds. I pour myself a glass of your lies. Every time you look into my eyes and tell me how much you care, like it's a double dare, confused between a rabbit and a hare. Your love never fully there. Like Alice, falling deeper into a hole. Drink from my empty cup as the tears begin to flow. I am the blue on Alice's dress, as mad as the Hatter, as inquisitive as the caterpillar, as funny as the Tweedles, as silly as a tea party, as talkative as a flower, as royal as the queen. I think you need a refill. Your cup looks a little empty. You thought you left me dead? Here, have one more sip, then it's off with your head. Thank you.
Yo,
Oh,
see,
I'm
that
so
was
happy to
dope.
hear from you.
I love that.
Fuck yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
That
What's,
was
what
awesome.
what a closing line. It was so wonderful.
Yeah, it was dope. So
Thank
happy to
Terrific
hear
work,
from you.
C. I'm going to
Love
call out C right now and say we are working on a collaboration poem. It's going
Yes,
quite slowly, but we are working on it. Expect something
Shut up.
soon.
What?
yes, yes. Thank you, everybody. But yes, I did not forget. I am working on it. I promise.
Okay.
Yo, if it's anything like
Okay,
that
that's
last
good
wet
to
paint,
hear.
it's gonna be fire.
That's good to hear. Let me get the list up.
Up
Oh,
next is Paul. Skiff.
Paul Skiff, the Lower East Sider himself, the Jedi Master. Strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. We're headed to the Skiff verse.
Hello. Uh, Certainly been enjoying the proceedings so far. Let's see over this cover, if I can find it. This is by a woman I encountered recently whose name is Antonietta Villamil. She's originally from Bogota, Colombia. Let's see here. I'm getting distracted by the sirens outside my window. I'm sorry. Let me get the poem up in a better resolution on my screen. This is a poem she wrote for her missing brother who was desaparecido. My name is Pedro. I swim in the water of a sea more vicious than salt. I ride the waves of my deprived voice. I am an echo in the memory for the unremembered, the ones that swim and swim and swim. No island near, no shore, no sand. Perhaps I just fancy that I swim. Perhaps I excavate the earth that sustains my flesh as a promise that enriches old roots. Yes, I dig. I worm into the moist soil. Tender seeds cover my dark garb. Austere dirt foots my empty sandals, and I dig out with my mortality and scour into the inner rocks until the name I am no more is less than bone in the fugitive soil. Perhaps I just fancy that I dig. Perhaps I fly into the wind and this winding movement carries my flesh, a foreshadowing that enriches old voices. Yes, I fly. I swirl into the damp air. Hurricane dust covers my blue garb. Warm air cleanses my empty sandals, and I dart out with my mortality and gnaw into the inner wind until the name I am no more is less than shreds dashing ephemeral clouds. Perhaps I just fancy that I fly. Perhaps I am the burning turmoil that brings forth my flesh in smoke signs that decode perennial holocausts. Yes, I burn. I am sparks in the bright flames. Ardent soot covers my red garb. Dark cleanse my empty sandals. I shoot out with my mortality and consume into the inner fire until the name I am no more is less than ashes in the volatile debris. Perhaps I just fancy that I fly, fancy that I swim, fancy that I dig, fancy that I glow. Perhaps I fancy that I came into this page so the nightmare unfolds, and because I am not here, I am here to bring you the memory of moss. My voice whisper in shreds and splinters of their rain, flood the silent waves into which I disappear. At least you can dismantle the layers of my skin patiently, one by one, and you can heal the grave embedded in your chest, that grave of which nobody knows, the grave in your chest that is never visited, without a date, without an epitaph. But remember, my name is Pedro. Pedro is my name, even though it is not I anymore. And then I'm just going to read some excerpts from this poem I'm working on, and it's so long, I don't know when it'll ever be done. So I'm just going to read some excerpts. It won't, there won't be any continuity, but maybe you can just get into the poetry of it. I am your first public embarrassment, dressing your mouth with humiliation's laughter slap. You are my flying robot war, forecasting obsolescence of bravery for the epic history national pride keeps in its second stomach, where coherency is digested into fragmentary report to accompany shame. I am your encounter with competing truths that struggle over a choice you are challenged to make, so the flood of conflict does not loosen being right from gravity and drown need to know in what you cannot decide. You are my armed interdiction of worldwide trade, threatening plenty with bare shelves and choicelessness as a border-breaching victory of robbed purpose for the grocery list privilege hides in its assumptions. I am your internal social division caused by public consciousness, assaulted with mind swindles, bringing national decline for the body politic in a population convinced against itself. You are my natural madness of vengeful wilderness, burning its own self down to wipe out the humans who smirch it. I am your analysis of hell between sips, when relevance and consequence catch a breath before the mind surrenders to insignificance like a valley beneath a broken dam. You are my project of recording the disinterred city of torture victims buried by state power and the national resource of depravity. I am your hate of having to go to work while it stares at the moon looking for your need to know. You are my genetically engineered pig kidney in the body of the transplant patient who is tango dancing with a sudden thunderstorm. I am your outward expression of respect, levitating heritage over the flagpole where ego flies self-gratification. You are my monsoon of nanoplastic sleeping on long ago paid for convenience lost inside nourishment. I am your hush money payments from negative definition asking poor compromise to be balanced on public shame. You are my civil fraud infrared sex scene showing full frontal overvaluation of a cheating conceit. I am your better idea of the best chance for happiness ascending this lived moment. You are my contest of what evidence matters most, founded on pure pleasure, permissions, ceremonial enwombment transmits to self-respect. I am your Krasaracut frigorizzle. You are my probobocrologamo, which is not where this discontinues to make sense, but all in all of it, comprehendibable, comprehendibable, comprehendibable. Who?
Yo, what? That shit was so dope.
I'm crying in the best way.
Yeah, Paul,
Every
so
time,
good.
Paul.
Wow. That was
I fucking
amazing.
love you, Paul.
clean out our clocks. Everyone, unmute yourselves and make sounds
Yeah,
at Paul.
That's why we call you the Jedi Master.
Oh, incredible.
Yeah.
It was an entire film reel in my head. That's how strong the imagery was. It was just, it was a whole movie. It was just running through my head, images. It was wonderful.
Thank you, everybody. Sure is fun to be here. So I'm looking forward to hearing everybody
We're so
else.
delighted you're having fun. This is supposed to be fun, everyone. I hope everyone is having a good time. Yeah?
Yes. I like it when my brain
Yeah.
melts. Yeah. It's
All
fun.
right. Yeah, we melt a few brains, but we have a lot of fun. Speaking of melting brains, Full Moon Fire will melt your brain. This is Marianne Tefft's book. I got it in the mail today.
Oh,
I'm so excited.
great.
Marianne, will you share some words with us, please?
I will. Thank you so much, Magus. Thank you for that. I hope you will enjoy Full Moon Fire. I wanted to share something that I read online this week. It's Fear by Khalil Gibran. It is said that before entering the sea, a river trembles with fear. She looks back at the path she has traveled from the peaks of the mountain, the long winding road crossing forests and villages, and in front of her she sees an ocean so vast that to enter there seems nothing more than to disappear forever. But there is no other way. The river cannot go back. Nobody can go back. To go back is impossible in existence. The river needs to take the risk of entering the ocean, because only then will fear disappear, because that's where the river will know. It's not about disappearing into the ocean, but of becoming the ocean. I thought that was lovely. And I have a very brief poem of my own for you. I've been listening to stories and thinking about lies. When you walk long enough in darkness, the moment comes when shades of gray, charcoal, ebony, and indigo leap with textured details. For your mind becomes accustomed to the notion that there is and never can be anything brighter than this lie. Thank you.
That was magical.
Wow, that
Felt
was
like,
Short,
just
but that packed a punch.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Paul cleaned us all out, and then now there's like magical colors in there. Thank you. That was beautiful.
Hey, she had taken the phaser gun off of stun and went to full knock you on your ass mode. Get the book, Full Moon Fire.
Get the book.
Yeah,
Get the book.
I'm so glad you got yours today, Magus. Can you read me stories to bed tonight from it? Can you read me poetry from her book tonight to put me to sleep?
I'm sorry?
I saw it breaking up.
I think Thomas is wondering when your EP is coming out.
Oh, well, I actually have recorded Full Moon Fire. I spoke it myself, and I hope that I will be able to make it as an audiobook as well.
That
Yes.
sounds wonderful.
Yes, that makes the difference. Your voice is something else. It's very soothing and healing and magical. And
Thank you,
I mean that.
Thank
Feel
you.
it. Thank you so much, Marianne.
and
Coming up
so
next.
confident too, like very direct, very confident. And you know, when you hear those there are these things like the meditation music, it's like that, but with poetry.
Yeah.
Similar. Thank you.
Yeah,
Well, you
you
know,
nailed
that is really, I'm still pretty new to open mics. I guess it's been about a year or so. And I've come to many of them, and I've learned so much from listening to other readers and finding these kind of safe places where I really have had a lot of pleasure and feel like my performing and my reading is also coming up. So thank you for that. I really appreciate that encouragement a lot.
Yeah, Marianne, everybody who's gone to poetry readings pre-COVID was really tossed into this if they didn't come to Zoom rooms or do things online before. And it's a learning experience for everybody because you really have to take a very different approach to speaking your work live over a Zoom room as opposed to trying to do the same thing you would do, live on a stage. It's such a different animal altogether. So I too, I'm echo what you said. I'm always learning new stuff by how people deliver their poems here. And over the past 4 years, I've learned so much from people in these rooms about how to perform in these rooms.
Yes.
Well, I started when I started OpenMinds like 2 years ago, and you guys taught me everything I know. So like, yeah, I appreciate all the love and just the growth and having that open space to learn from each other, and it's wonderful.
Definitely a beautiful thing. You guys are amazing. Okay, so next on the mic we have Parquillian. Parquillian, could you bless us with some words?
I'd be glad to. Thank you. This first, I'd like to share a poem that I wrote over the weekend as part of a workshop on metaphors, interestingly. This is what came out. It's called Spices. Cinnamon gives the subtle warmth when sprinkled on your oats, or tastes like tingling dirt on fire when spackled on your toast. Cloves accent the pickle juice and have a sparkling hum. But chewing on a whole clove bud makes tongues feel bitter and numb. Nutmeg gives a playful boost to eggnog's creamy head, but too much is a toxic load that leaves you feeling dead. Spices are a metaphor for pleasant things in life, unless you let them carry you away on journeys filled with strife. Thought it was very interesting when I learned that nutmeg is in fact toxic if taken in with too big amounts.
Yeah, if you eat the whole jar, it'll kill you.
Yeah. Anyway, I hope this isn't too weird, but that led me on a path for coming up with a cover that is, to me, poetic. I think I've shared here before that I grew up as a Quaker, and Quakers can be a really weird, quirky bunch of people. But they have interesting community. One of their quirks is they don't believe in having a creed or a set of beliefs that everyone needs to believe in. They have testimonies instead.
So they believe in not believing?
They don't believe everyone has to believe the same way. Everybody can believe what they want to believe. And these testimonies are meant as guidances. Anyway, I drifted away for a while. And when I came back, somebody had realized that the 6 main testimonies make an acronym that is SPICES. So this is Quaker Spices. S is for simplicity. Value the spirit over material objects. Keep popular culture in perspective to avoid distraction from what is truly important. Keep life simple so you're free to live in harmony and alignment with your soul's purpose. P is for peace. Work to build conflict resolution skills. See conflict as a springboard to moral growth. Seek elegant, simple solutions to problems or disagreements. I is for integrity. Let your life speak. Endeavor to let your outer life reflect your inner life. Treat others with respect and honesty. Acknowledge interconnectedness and essential oneness. C is for community. Work to connect with all members of your community. Balance needs of the individual with the needs of the group. Teach respect for everyone, and that everyone has a piece of the truth. E is for equality. Respect different people and different ideas. Honor all faiths. Celebrate a rich community made of many cultures. S is for stewardship. Protect and care for the earth and a sacred trust. Promote environmental, economic, and social sustainability. Teach social justice and the need for equal access to resources. So that's not meant to proselytize or anything, because Quakers are really weird and they tend to be anti-evangelical in some situations. Although, even though
I agree with all that.
my grandparents and my dad's uncle were actually Quaker missionaries at one point. So it's another quirk about Quakers. Some of them believe some way, some believe another. It's just a weird mixed-up group. But these have been helpful in my life, and I'm definitely not living up to all of them, but it's been a helpful guide for me. I hope it is taken in that way. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Martin.
Lots of wisdom
yeah,
there.
Parquillian, open up your mics and give some love to Parquillian.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Yeah.
Parquillian.
That was
Thanks
so
for sharing that,
enlightening.
Martin.
Thank you. Woo!
Yeah,
I
I
spent-
learned some stuff.
I've spent some time in the Friends Church. One of the things I really liked about it is they don't have a minister. It's like what you talked about. If people feel like they have something important to say, they get up and speak it. And believe me, I've heard some incredible poetry imparted by some of the elders in that church. The other really cool thing I loved about it was the service is you just sit in this beautiful big room and meditate for about 90 minutes. Nobody's ministering to you and telling you what your moral obligations are or any of that crap. So I found it like it's kind of like this Zoom room, chaos magic.
That's interesting that because that is very much the case in most of the East Coast. But as you go out west, it's shifted over time. My father grew up in Ohio, and his father was actually a Quaker pastor who never found work in Ohio, but they moved around. And there are just so many different, what they call flavors of Quakerism now. Some of them have pastors, some of them have part meditation and part pastors. And my sister went to college in Greensboro to a Quaker school there, and there are different churches, at least four churches in Greensboro that have one of each flavor, including a very historical one that some of our family has gone through. And there, the pastor shows up and sort of speaks a sermon out of the middle of the meditation. There's one across from the college a few blocks away on the other side of the retirement home where my mother lives that is totally like an Eastern one, just meditation. And there's one downtown that my parents joined because they knew connections from my father's religion that it has a pastor. They have 15 minutes of meditation, but otherwise it's like a Protestant service. So they're a weird, mixed up group of people.
Yeah, I got into it because my father, who was born in the year 1900 in Vermont, was a Quaker. And one day he saw me meditating when I was 15. I taught myself how to meditate. And he didn't say anything. He left the room. But later on, he said, "Oh, you were meditating, weren't you? That's what I used to do every Sunday at church." And I figured, I got to find out about that church.
Can be interesting.
Cheers. That was excellent. Next up on the mic, a personal friend of mine, a guy I really love, who I would love it if you would share a little about the Charlotte Poetry Festival. Nemo Sum, would you share some words with us, please?
We missed it. Tell us everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I will try not to bubble on about the Charlotte Poetry Festival. It was a very special weekend. We had 200 people on the first day. About 50 of those were poets. Some really big names that were there, and but everybody was such a community, and I feel like I was able to just walk from one poet to the next and hear all of this wisdom and all of these, tips and tricks and hints and thoughts about being on stage and It was just incredible to see people practicing their craft. We had people come in from Georgia and California and New Mexico. Fair number of people you'd recognize, I'm sure. But it was really great. It was really special, and I feel like it shows that there's a lot of interest in poetry here in Charlotte. So next year, by all means, I imagine it's going to be right about the same time. So end of April 2025, you're all invited. It was really special. So
We all stay with you.
yes. Yes, although you're looking at it. There is a kitchen over here, but pretty much you're looking at it. So there might need to be some very creative sleeping arrangements, right? Yeah, exactly.
Dibs on the couch.
You'll have to fight Walter for that.
You just sleep in shifts.
I like that, sleep in shifts and write poetry. Right.
All right, so I'm going to read a poem that the opening poet, a gentleman named Talam Asi, he opened the poetry festival, not with this poem, but he read this as part of his opening set, and I just was really deeply moved by it. What if this is God's work? What if real poets walked the earth and lived lives fit for a prophet's birth, spreading ancient wisdom like the Coptic Church? And those that know what they are hearing know that they are hearing something special. And perhaps eventually a poet will be sent here just to bless you, to test you in this world of lies. And if you feel your eyes cry, it's because what they recognize is what they are seeing is the truth. And the chills up your spine provide absolute proof that in this now, where politicians and clergy are proving themselves unworthy of your time, and television shows and music videos are proving themselves unworthy of your mind, don't be surprised to find that God is especially present in poetry, guiding poets' pens, and not just those men that pretend to be closer to God than you, by making you ashamed of your sins, when the lives they have lived may not have been what God intends for your salvation. What if this is God's work? What if the Creator realizes that creation isn't perfect, but only wishes for us to worship sincerely, to not be hypocrites, but to really be concerned about our fellow man, to stand up against the injustice falsely perpetuated in God's name in foreign lands? What if this is God's work? What if the poets are closer to Muhammad, Buddha, and Jesus than the preachers? I said, what if the poets are closer to Muhammad, Buddha, and Jesus than the preachers? I mean, think about it, y'all. Which of us are living closer to the streets? And which of us are living closer to Caesar? Which of us is living high up on the hog? And which of us are the poor, righteous teachers? What if this is God's work? Then ye poets be concerned, because when you step up on this stage, be on your job. Because if this is God's work, then stealing from another poet is the same thing as stealing from God. It's not about your use of sexuality or profanity, or if you use your tools for oohs and ahs. But if you use your tools to improve humanity, what if this were God's work? And I know blasphemers have hell to pay, so I wouldn't say anything on the Rock Newman show. that I wouldn't feel comfortable repeating on Judgment Day. What if this were God's work, y'all? Let us pray. And then I'm going to read a short microtriptych, which includes, any of you who know, it concludes a poem I typically only read when I'm really angry, and I swear I'm not reading it because I'm angry tonight. It fits the theme, so. Sir Mortimer Trotter and his daughter went for a ride in a helicopter. She held a pink kerchief over her snout and fought the urge to chicken out. He brought some goggles he had found, but they wouldn't roll the windows down. So he watched the buildings passing by and felt at home up in the sky. Always something, never dull. He found this day impossible. Personal pachyderms compacted peanuts capable of processing those problematic memories randomly accessed. To make an array, attach trunk to mother tail and send to search for water. Dust jacket included. The greatest poet to ever live couldn't tolerate being around other people, so she never shared her work with the rest of us. The second best poet scribbled in a beloved book that burned with him in a fire while he slept. The third best poet only ever came up with one thing, while a lion held him by the neck, and they both waited for him to die. Thank you.
Nemo!
Nemo, you're the bomb.
What?
Yeah.
That's the sound of
Wow.
16 poets speechless. Ah,
Absolutely mind-blowing. Just everything about it. Just all the philosophy, the references, the religious references, all of the references to nature and how you interconnect those things, and just it was beautiful.
Thank you. I was
incredible.
really moved by the poem by Talam. And I got to talk to him later, and just an incredibly nice guy. So,
Oh, wow.
thank you.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that cover was very moving. Like, wow. I can see why you chose it.
Up next is Old Cyrus.
Ooh.
I heard something.
There he is.
Peace, 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 and love. Can you hear me?
Yes, is it your first time here, Cyrus?
No, it's my second.
Okay. Well, welcome anyway. Welcome again from me.
Thank you so much. Sorry if it doesn't seem like I'm active. I'm literally rushing out to go to work, so I'm gonna try to make this as quick as I can. I got two poems. One was written by someone named Jennifer Creppy from the Bronx, inspired by me. And then I did a follow-up poem for her. So kind of like an erotic type thing. So here we go. This is hers. So we did a little dancing, circling around each other, showing off our moves, grooving to lyrics as if we wrote them ourselves. Your hands on my waist, exhumed as fire, leaving imprints of your fingertips on my supple skin. We work our way into the bedroom. You close the door and passion exploded. You grab my whole body, pulling me straight into yours. Your hands flying all over, covering every side of my backside. I grab your hair, running my hands through, pressing you even closer to me. Our lips and tongues didn't battle, but they played a game of enticement. Hungry for what our imaginations have been foretelling. You lifted me up with such damn ease, with eyes set on mine, Those brown eyes, so deep they go, inform me of where I was about to go. I bow my head to find your lips and taste that sweet tongue. Eyes closed, you found your way to the bed and fall deeper into my kiss as you captivate me, pinning my arms above my head, taking over. And now with you searching for that sweet nectar, you know I'm hiding. From the corners of my neck, you make your way down and enjoy my plentiful blooms. Instantaneous, excuse me, instantaneously I arch up, giving in to that enjoyment. And when I couldn't take any more of your masterful teasing, I get mine in, ridding you of clothing. I inhale the fantasy, appearing in the flesh in front of me. Now my reality, it's my turn to captivate you, licking my soft full lips. I capture your solidarity in my mouth, tasting your sazon. I'm hooked and don't stop until you refuse to hold back. You stop me as I notice you begin to throb. You see the challenge in my eyes, and before I know, you rid me of my clothing. Diving into my sweet spot, I fall back in complete submission. Oh my goodness, you refuse to quit until you find my sweet nectar. Defiantly, I try to hold back, to tease you with the potential, but you are too passion driven. You grab me tight, you grab tight to my hips and stay focused on your mission until my moans and your groans are now my released. My walls have been taken down by your patient adoration. Sorry, I may have, that's it, it's all good.
That was amazing. Actually, erotic poetry is such a different vibe, and it's such a you really have to be like in a certain mindset, and that was such a good read of it. It was so powerful and raw. Thank you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So this is me. This is my poem. Rose petal lay, patiently waiting to be walked on, rubbed through, thumbs and index fingers inhaled, appreciated, Tommy's other essence. Carefully picked cocktail dressed and leather pumps rest on bed, along with the sealed envelope with strict instructions, waiting her arrival, only to read, get dressed. Limo will arrive promptly at 7:15, bring an appetite. Modern chariot conveys her to destination. Brakes squeak, tires screech. Driver opens door, slit in dress unveils well-defined extremities. My kryptonite. Long strides shake ground like runway models. Clutch and arm, subtle foundation, blush, shimmering lip gloss, illuminates from moonlight. Eyelashes flutter like paparazzi lenses. She's God's gift. She belongs as a centerfold. Eyes light up like deer in headlights. Man, woman, child, stare. She commands that attention, but she doesn't flinch. There's a mission to be fulfilled. 007. Her target is I. The host leads her through marble corridors. Her redolence engulfs room from excreted pheromones like sauteed seared scallops popping and sizzling on a hot iron skillet. I'm salivating. She's the appetizer, main course, in the dessert. She greets me with exuberance, arms extended, pearly whites exposed, dimples deep with the motherly embrace. She's nurturing like that. I can't take my eyes off her. Indigenous infusion. It's almost like everything is in slow-mo. Her and I, no sound, just admiration. I'm fixated. We hold hands across table. The anticipation on where the night will lead conjures up blood to already boiling desires. We toast with bubbly. There's no conversation, just erotic sign language. Inappropriate but appropriate facial invitations. We feed each other. Drip drops fall between bosoms. She looks down, then at me to signal magnetism. But people are watching. With shoes off, I scoot in. Our jaded feet engage in an entanglement. My toes climb legs like tarantula. discovering no loincloth, only precipitation. I pulsate, patience growing thin. I can't wait. I need her here, now. Oh shit, my alarm's going off for work. Sorry. Meet me in the bathroom. 3 minutes. Knock 3 times. My stomach is in knots. What if we get caught? What a story it will be. She enters. I pull her close. Breathing the same air as her has taken mine away. I put one hand behind her head. The other cradles jawline. The dinner was good, but more savory on her lips. I Dracula her neck. She squirms. Give her a half a turn like we dance in salsa. We're both facing the mirror. I pull up dress, reach in between. Oh, she's ripe. Her fruit is ready for harvest. I will reap the benefits. She inhales as I melt inside of her. She tries to scream, but fingers clasp throat. The other occupy her mouth. She clenches fingers. Through the mirror, I see her eyes flush with bliss. Her flower blooms. I eradicate my seed. Pollination commences. Do you hear that? Think that's a knock. Poem. Whew.
Damn,
Hey,
okay.
Okay, now I'll remember you. I'll remember you now.
Damn, I was like, no wonder he could read the other one. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, just
Right.
ignore that knock on the door.
Listen, I wanted to say peace and love to everybody, man. I love all your poetry. I've been listening and I've been cheering in my own way. Sorry, I haven't been able to chime in and things like that. But thank you for the space that you have. I love this, man, to be able to be anywhere in the world and to be able to, express ourselves and to have this community. So I really appreciate that.
We love you right back at you, old Cyrus. Yeah,
Yeah,
come
we
back to
appreciate you
us.
too.
I
Yeah.
gotta go
Next
to
week.
work. I gotta go to work, but I'll be back at the next time and we'll chop it up then. Peace and love.
All right.
All right, have a good
Yes.
shift. Take care.
All right.
So next on the mic, we have Julian Matthews. Julian, I'm excited to see what you've got for us today.
Hi. Can you see that? Starry night. When it was finished, Vincent, did you step back, yell Eureka, or whoop in ecstasy? Did you get up and do a jig maybe, or imagine doing the waltz with her? Or take another celebratory swig and twirl around like a drunken sailor? But wait, this was during your time at the asylum in Saint-Remy in southern France, and you were seeking reprieve from the voices that plagued your mind. Looking out the bars of your window in that tiny sparse room, perhaps, twiddling your one ear, recalling the past, the torment of your imposter syndrome fears. Every measured brush stroke, another step forward, lifting grayish hues into swirls of hopeful yellows, holding back the ever-constant waves of the blues. Wondering why they always kept the lights on you, as if the darkness might make you forget the dance with her on that starry, starry night. Thank you. And the next one is called No Wrong Answers. No wrong answers. Is your glass half empty? Is your heart half full? Is your brain all muddled? Is the water too murky to see through? Are you drowning in your own glass? Do you feel half empty? Are you the glass? Is your half-empty heart made of glass? Is it so fragile that it can break? Can you swim laps in your own brain? Can you tread on water and avoid the broken glass at the bottom of your heart? Can you feel the emptiness of it all? Once I was asked to dive off the boat and swim to shore. I was not a strong swimmer, but it was a test to pass my scuba diving class. I needed to prove to the instructor that I could make it to the shore. if I had to abandon my gear and save myself. I struggled and almost drowned. I could hear them laughing as I sunk in the water filling my mouth so fast that I could barely scream out for help. Then someone pulled me up and unceremoniously yanked me into the boat. That day I could hear my heart pounding harder than it ever has. Even as I was drowning in the sea, I almost felt the temptation of letting go, pouring out of this broken glass, becoming the water, becoming all heart, emptying and filling up, emptying and filling up. Thank you.
Wow, thank you.
Thank you, Julian.
Terrific, Julian.
Always
That
so
was so
moving.
Yeah.
lovely. It was so romantic, so passionate. It was gorgeous work.
Spectacular,
Oh,
indeed.
I feel so saved. Thank you.
I really loved the Van Gogh piece.
As did I. Yeah, the Van Gogh piece was terrific, Julian. So next up on the mic, I got this today, The Chameleon Poetic. This book is fantastic. I've only read a few poems out of it, but I am already thrilled to own it. Terri Rose Jertson, would you share some words with us, Chameleon Poetic?
Hi. I thought you were going to read something up there. Were you going to read something out of that one?
I am tonight. Later on, I'm gonna end the show with two covers.
Okay, I want to actually take a movie of you, like, so that I can put that on my page when you just decide to do that.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to read from Shaki G's In Lieu of Flowers. And it's about daisies on page 87. There was a time when I thought daisies held all the answers. She loves me not, she loves me. But now that's not enough. Most days she hates me. It's like she's forgotten how to smile. My jokes vibrate and echo off her apartment walls like a lost memory. She loves me, but she can't bring herself to say it. Her lips clenched tight as if the truth could trickle down her chin if she opened her mouth. She loves me not. Yesterday, her stares pierced my heart like an icy dagger. Our bed felt winter cold. She loves me. Today, she said, stress and anxiety were sharing the spaces within her mind. They had taken refuge longer than she had expected. She loves me not. Enough to tell me she had been taken hostage, refuses to let me help, says I wouldn't understand. She's just better off alone. There's no vacancy in her heart when her brain is full. And here I stand, daisy stem in hand, wondering if love has anything to do with it. Is this just another game where I am the loser? One day she woke up and didn't love me anymore. And the daisies still bloomed beautiful as ever, swaying in the wind like nature's own clairvoyant whispering. She loves me not. I also have a poem about daisies. You weren't going to read that one, were you? Okay. I'll grab that.
I love all of these that are very heavily themed. The themes make them, like just pull you in really strongly and make you think of everything that you've ever used those themes with, or thought of when you're in, that imagery. It pulls you back to like a million memories. I really like that.
Well, this isn't good. I can't find my book. So I'm going to read a different one. I kind of wanted to keep the theme of flowers, but I guess that's not going to happen. All right. So this is a
I
new
found it
piece.
for you.
Oh, yeah.
Magus has it.
Yeah.
Do you want, I don't know, how do you want to do that?
No, go for it. Read what you want to read. Read what you want to read. I'm sorry. I was just joking.
Okay. Okay. So I was in a workshop with Paul Queso the other day, and if I can get my hands on that one. Yeah, here we go. So his theme was color.
Terry, are you frozen for everyone or just me?
The heck?
There she is.
You couldn't hear me? I'll
I
start over.
couldn't. Okay.
What about now? Can you hear me?
Good now.
Okay. Dandelions, small suns rising in the grass, multitudes as the stars, pops of warmth playing flowers for weeds, good to eats. In my salad, various shades of green, picked them for my mother. She took them from me as a token, placing them in small cups of water until they became brown, withered. They would be tossed out, not getting a chance for the earth to reclaim them had they not been plucked. But in fall, those untouchable ones, petals would sprout, the seeds to make a wish upon. My parents would wish them into non-existence. Me, I would wish them into trees. And that's me.
Oh my God, Terry, that flower, the suns, oh, that broke me. That was so, I'm always going to think of that now. They're just tiny little suns.
Thank you.
It's so beautiful. I adore dandelions. It's my favorite flower, and there are legends about it, about how there's a particular legend where it says that there's this poet. She says that when the earth was created, the sun gave a hug to the earth, and she felt it so deeply within her that she sprouted little suns of flowers all over the earth. And those are dandelions, the birth of the dandelion.
And I didn't even know that story when I wrote the poem. I think we all kind of connect on this cellular level somewhere in the atmosphere when we write or we create anything. I think all the creatives, we don't realize, I think our minds kind of mold into one thing. And that's why sometimes when I'm looking at other people's books that I've never read before, even Shaki's book, it's almost like she read my book first and then she wrote her book, and she kind of had like a companion poem for like everything I wrote in my book. And I'm like, what in the hell is going on here, man? Because, and then
Yeah.
I'll hear another poet and it'll be the same thing. Like, did they channel me? Like, I'm channeling all these people and they're channeling me. It's crazy. It's just crazy.
Yeah, there's definitely a collective consciousness element to it. And it's so beautiful. The one I told you about is actually a Latina poet, Ada Luz Marquez. And yeah, so like, it's a total, and it's in Spanish. So it definitely, it's not the same, but it is in a way. I really believe that there is a collective consciousness, and we're all, whenever we like something and whenever we grasp onto it, we're kind of grasping onto little bits and pieces of each other too. Okay, up next is Whisper Poets. Please come up to the mic.
Hey, you guys, how's it going?
Whisper.
Good to
Yeah.
see everybody. Good to see everybody. I am going to read to you from Teresa Gallian's book, freshly signed in person, from her new book, Come Egypt. And the poem that I'm going to cover of hers is called My Womb. My womb lies beneath blackberries in an unknown country where no one sings without permission. Threat of demise is a lethal weapon for unwanted gestures. My womb is surrounded by red roses that moisturize stems at a mere thought of you. Such power is dangerous for the untried who dare to take what is not given. My womb is standard bearer, holds the diamonds to expand the world, trained to submit to gods and bear fruit for the common man. My womb is a goddess reserved for the gods of compassion and love. Do not come to me with blood-stained negative bouquets. My womb is the sacred feminine open to the flow of love, streaming through sand, climbing on stones of delight. My womb is a kingdom of hieroglyphic walls, holding their breath as diggers reach into ecstatic bliss of sand, preserving my essence. My womb is an empire beneath sand. Those curious humans unearth my glory. They may bleed me dry someday with the profiteer's greed and lust. Teresa Gallian. And then I am in the mood for prose. So I'm going to read you one of my prose pieces. This is a letter that I wrote to a friend of mine on a social medium that we both shared. And I wrote the letter one day when I realized that he was no longer on the site and he had not let me know he was leaving. And it was due to the jealousy of his wife. This is called To My Friend No Longer on FET. Dear John, I thought of you this morning as I was driving to work. I can't help but think of you during spring. It's been a minute, and I didn't realize you were gone until I searched for you the other day to send you a message. I know what it means that you're gone, and it makes me sad. It means that she can't get past her own jealousy and insecurities to the truth. It means that despite having lived with you for 20 years, she doesn't realize that she is the center of your universe and that all you ever wanted was for the two of you to spend every day in enjoyment of each other. I'm picturing you right now as I'm driving, and I'm smiling. No doubt you're wandering the perimeter just beyond those manicured expanses, trying to find a touch of the wild that stirs your soul until you can return in the evening to your eyrie. I'm reminded of the things you showed me, a special plant, a bird, a landscape. You showed me things from your point of view. You shared the world through your lens. And then I think of your words, the things you wrote for, to, and about me. You saw all of my flaws and adored me passionately anyway. You gave me a level of love and acceptance I've never experienced from anyone else because you didn't want to change a single hair on my head. You treated me the same way you treat stumbling across a wild animal in its native habitat, with acceptance, wonder, and thankfulness. You gave me love and support in a time when I was lost. You bolstered me when I had forgotten who I was. You showed me myself from your view and told me I was rare and irreplaceable when I was devastated from having been replaced. You showered me with love from your gentle heart and prose from the depths of your soul. I hope that I gave you even half of what you gave me, because 2 years later, my rear view is crystal clear, and I know how lucky she is that you are in her corner. You told me once about that spider, the one you saw as a young man on that stifling afternoon in the greenhouse. You were in wonder of its courage as it cast itself outward with complete trust that the silk of its body would provide a safe landing. When you met me, I had lost that confidence. I wanted you to know that I'm gaining it back. I know you would be so happy to hear that. You told me, stay golden, pony girl. I will, John. Godspeed, Mountain Goat.
Thank you for sharing
Oh
that,
my God.
Whisper. You're so beautiful and complex and wonderful, and I love you.
I love you too.
Share so much of yourself with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
So
guys.
it's
What-
these-
To be here. It's great to be here with you, all of you.
It was such an intimate poem, you know, it was very deeply connected to who you are, and it has nicknames and stuff. I think those are hyper personal type of poetry. That type of poetry is one of my favorite kinds. It just gets to me because it's like a view of someone's little slice of their world, you know. I like those a lot.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your feedback.
I like that term you used,
Sure.
hyper, what was it? Hyper intimate poetry?
Hyper personal, yeah.
Hyper personal. That was really nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's you know, Whisper, you're another person whose sensibilities seem to always be on, you know. You don't turn them off, you live poetically.
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. The man I wrote that about was actually had a very interesting life. He was the greenskeeper for a golf course in Asheville, but prior to that, he had been the greenskeeper at Mar-a-Lago in Florida. And
Oh, wow.
he worked for Donald Trump. And he said, you know, regardless of politics, I don't get into politics. He said, but he said he was actually a very good boss. He said he would walk with me every morning when I was first hired, and we would just walk along and, you know, talk about all of the different plants and the, you know, the shrubs and the trees and all the things. And he said he would let me talk and he would listen and then ask me a question. He said at the point where he got comfortable, that I knew what I was doing and that I wasn't gonna, you know, fuck up his landscape. You know, he kind of let me loose and went off. But it was kind of an interesting thing. Like who do we know that's worked for someone as such a polarizing figure as Donald Trump?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's kind of interesting.
You and your interesting people. You always meet interesting people. You always do. You're so interesting. Oh, I just love you, Whisper. It's
love you
good to
too.
see your
I've
face.
missed you
And
guys.
so many of those interesting people are in this room tonight.
Yes, they
Right.
are.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us again. And up next is our very own Magus, Gustav Salas.
Yes. One of the most interesting people.
The
Okay. I was thrilled to receive 2 books in the mail today. 2 books. What a banner day for me. Marianne Tefft's Full Moon Fire and Chameleon Chronicles by Terri Rose Jertson. I will be reading first from Full Moon Fire. This is the title poem. This is Full Moon Fire. They say our signs don't mix. Hot sun and cool moon shadow, but we've got our own tricks. And they don't know what we know. The cards say just forget it, but we're in love together. Dynamo and H2O, we're 2 sides of forever. Fool, oh feel, you rise like first flight, my lips open to your kiss. Beneath a shower of moonlight, my sea drowns you in my bliss. Your torch has the power to melt my frozen heart. My tide is the elixir that tears your blaze apart. When my rain meets your flame, we take it even higher, making steam, making steam, making full moon fire. Yeah. And now, this is, I've read a couple of poems from this so far today, but I have not even begun to get into the depths of this book, but this just blew me away. Terri, are you recording? Did you want to record? Okay, I'm just going to start reading. This is 7 Cries for Justice haiku. Injustice, George Floyd. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. There is no justice. Breonna Taylor. I raise a cry for justice. Her death, travesty. Murdered while sleeping, no defense, no protection. Breaking into homes. No Miranda rights. Shoot first, ask questions later. Gunfights, no insights. Children are dying. Just watching a football game caught in the crossfire. Death penalty rules in the wrong place at the wrong time. Innocent life gone. Young black man accused. Life incarceration lie. Wrongly imprisoned. And that's from Chameleon Chronicles. So, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of another great Chaos Magic. Thanks to you and your magic. Thanks to Catalyst. Thanks to Alma Garcia. Thanks to Paul Skiff, Whisper Poet, Marianne Tefft, Terri Rose Jertson, Debby Segal, MT. It was delightful to have you with us. Cee Santos, so glad you were able to read. And Bill Elkins, you set the tone for the evening. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We love you all. We love you all.
Before you cut
Bye.
off, can we just promo Heart of the Artist real quick?
Yeah,
Oh,
let's
of
do it.
course.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
let's do it.
So we haven't made the poster for it yet because we haven't gotten through the roster of everybody, but we're gonna have a reunion show. And we want everybody who was with us for this first 6 months, the first Tuesday in July. So Debby and Marianne and Terri, please put that on your calendar. I think it's going to be so much fun to have all of us in the room together. Like that's
Right.
going to be a freaking
That's a lot of heart, a lot of artists.
That is an awesome idea.
A lot of heart, a lot of artists.
Yeah. So much fun. I hope you guys will put that in your calendar and plan to be there for that.
Yes.
Yes, I wouldn't
I've
miss
been kind
it.
of thinking, I think I said this to Catalyst. that
Definitely, with pleasure,
maybe we
Whisper.
could do like a roast the host kind of moment.
I love
Turn the
it.
tables a little bit. So we've got some ideas cooking for some fun.
Yes. Anybody else too? If you have anything you want to share it, say the words, say the things, put it out there so people know what's going on. If you all feel like you got it out, that's cool too.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay,
then
everyone.
rise
I
rise
love
and
you
run.
all.
Rise and
Have a
run.
good night, everyone. Thank you so much.
Good night,
Love
beloved
you.
Thank you,
poets.
everyone. It's a beautiful thing.